of us face challenges in our daily lives, big and small, and with so much information out there, we become bombarded and overloaded. Many of us lack clarity and direction needed to live an optimal life. A lot of what is out there is controversial, meaning what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. What if there was something like a roadmap, something to identify where you are and assist in where you want to go? Perhaps a set of principles that can be used by anyone in any situation to help us live a better life. Introducing the Bhagavad Gita. What is it? The Bhagavad Gita, in essence, is the universal truth, a guide as to how one should live their life. It answers two very important questions. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, how can I lead a happy and peaceful life in the world of dualities? How did the Bhagavad Gita come about? In ancient times, there was a king who had 2 sons, Dhritarashtra, also known as Dri, and Pandu. Dri was born blind, therefore Pandu inherited the kingdom. Pandu had 5 sons. They were called the Pandavas. Dri had 100 sons. They were called the Kauravas. The eldest of the Kauravas was Duryodhana, also known as Duryo. After the death of Pandu, the Pandavas became the lawful king, but Duryo was a very jealous person. The kingdom was divided into 2 halves between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, but Duryo was not satisfied with his share of the kingdom. He wanted the entire thing. After many unsuccessful attempts to kill the Pandavas and take away the kingdom, he unlawfully took possession of the entire kingdom and refused to give back even an acre of land without a fight. This marked the beginning of one of the biggest wars, the Mahabharata. The Pandavas were unwilling participants, left with only 2 choices. 1. Fight for their right as a matter of duty, or run away from war and accept defeat in the name of peace and non-violence. One of the 5 Pandava brothers, Arjuna, faced this dilemma: fight or run. The Bhagavad Gita is an immortal discourse between the Supreme Lord Krishna and his devotee friend Arjuna. Lord Krishna guides Arjuna on the battlefield to overcome the evil Duryo. Arjuna's dilemma in reality is the universal dilemma. Every human being faces dilemmas, big and small, in their everyday life when performing duties. Arjuna's dilemma was the biggest of them all. He had to make a choice between fighting the war and killing his most revered guru, very dear friends, close relatives, and many innocent warriors, or running away from the battlefield for the sake of preserving peace and non-violence. The central teaching of the Gita is the attainment of freedom and happiness from the bondage of life by doing one's duties. Some of these teachings include: always remember the glory and greatness of the Creator. Do your duty efficiently without being attached or affected by the results, even if violence is unavoidable. Some people neglect their duty in life for the sake of spiritual life, while others excuse themselves from spiritual life because they believe they have no time. The idea is to incorporate both by performing one's duties in a spiritual manner. One must learn to give up lust, anger, and greed to establish mastery over the 6 senses: hearing, touch, taste, smell, sight, and mind. One should remember that all works are done by the energy of nature, and that he or she is not the doer, but only an instrument. One must strive for excellence in all undertakings, but remain calm in success and failure, pain and gain, pleasure and pain. Following these principles, one can lead a happy and fulfilling life. These are just the basics and overviews of the Bhagavad Gita teachings. One must show respect and give time to derive the power of these teachings. This is the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. Stay tuned and subscribe to learn more about living a self-fulfilling life.